Hey, welcome back, everybody. Of course, this is Dr. Keith McNally, and today I'm up here in the corner, and I'm up here in the corner for a reason because I am now going to tell a story. Now, I have been talking for quite a while about project-based learning, and at the end of the project activity, there is the expectation of students giving a presentation. And of course, a presentation looks can look very differently depending on what the project is or how you're going about being able to communicate what it is that you've learned, what it is that you've done, how you're solving a problem. Now, this is going to be on the low end. I'm really just going to tell a story through PowerPoint, but PowerPoint is an effective tool in presenting information, giving a speech, and so forth. So I'm going to use it as my tool of choice today simply to tell a story. So this is all about the haunted house. And if you've seen any of my PowerPoint presentations in the past, they're really about learning how to use animation and what animation is all about. But specifically today, I'm going to bridge this into other things, but I'm going to use what's called the action buttons. So all my action buttons will be embedded in each of the slides, and we'll see how that works. So let's go ahead with the story. This story is called Haunted House, Dare to Enter. So this is the haunted house, and I'm going to give a brief description of what we see. And of course, there's some really cool embedded animation. The moon itself, if you can see it, it may be behind me, and the clouds don't actually move, but there are some things that are appearing on the screen. So it was a dark and stormy night. As you walked through the woods, you came across a small cabin. From the looks of it, the cabin has not been used in some time. Though not in a state of decay, the house has mold, vines, and other unfavorable situations about. No lights were on, but the rain was coming and you needed to find shelter quickly. You were far from town, so you thought that that the cabin would be a safe place to stay until the storm has passed. You walked closer and opened the door. The front door opened with a loud creak. Against the silence, the cracking of the door made you hesitant to enter. But then the crack of lightning in the distance changed your mind. You entered, finding yourself in darkness. You did not anticipate being out so late, and the flashlight that you brought with you was running dim. There was no source of light in the house. You looked for a switch, but remembered that there was no source of electricity running anywhere to the house. You looked around quickly for a candle, something to keep the light shining for a little while longer. Suddenly, the front door slammed shut. You are locked now in darkness, and a dim light fills the center of the room. You can barely see the stairs leading up and the two doors beyond the table in the middle of the room. And of course, that's what the room looks like. So what do you do? Now, for this particular story, I give the option of clicking on door number 1 or door number 2. So let's see what happens if we click on one of the doors. You desperately needed to find a source of light, or you desperately needed a source of light. With your heart pounding, you slowly walk to the back of the room. Cautiously, you open the door on the left. As with the front door, it creaks loudly as you open it. Darkness pours from the open space, engulfing you as a deep pool of dark mist. The air, and I'm trying to find my cursor, the air is cooler now with the door open. You take a deep breath and a soft voice whispers in your ear. You feel the cold breath on your face, but no one is standing near you. Then it happens. The ghost appears and it says run. And so we'll push the button, and that's the end of my story. So this is a pretty unique way of telling a story, and PowerPoint or any multimedia tool really does give us the advantage of making things more exciting and more interesting, and of course more value to the audience. So with that, I'm going to let the ghost fly around a bit, and then I'll see you next time. Take care.